Let's make this circle or swirl braid. A lot of you are using this when you're ready to do different braid designs. You can do this where it is a complete circle, or it can be a oval shape. You can kind of turn them a little bit depending on what your design is actually going to be and what's the flow you're going for. All right, go ahead and clean it up with some jam. On a human head, you wouldn't have to, because you'll actually be able to keep the hairs out the way a lot easier, but the mannequin hairs are pretty stiff. After you get your first one parted out, then you're going to go through and do another one in between. So depending on how big you've made this circle would depend on how many times you need to make a circle on the inside of that one. This next part, I'm going in about 1/4 of an inch in, and I went about that wide because I don't want the hair to show on the sides of my braids, if you understand what I'm saying. When you make the parts too wide, then you see the hair on the other side of the actual braid. This, I kind of want the braid to kind of cover that entire section, and usually the braids with the mannequin hair, this thickness is usually about 1/4 of an inch. So just go through and part out you another circle on the inside of there. This one is going to get me about 2 circles on the inside. And I just go through and clean them up, make sure that they're all even. You want to make sure that they're even going all the way around the circle, because that's how you get where you'll have some areas where it looks thin and then some areas where it look full. And it's because you parted them where they weren't even. Or the client's hair is thinner or thicker in different spots, and sometimes you may need to add hair to that area if they have a thin section of hair. When you're adding hair for a thinner section, always remember those pieces need to be very short. You don't want them long like we would normally have regular braiding hair, because we don't want that thickness to follow through into the areas where their hair is actually thick enough by itself. So keep the little pieces really small. All right, so I'm just about done parting off my circle here, and then I'm going to go ahead and start braiding it off. When you braid those middle ones, you want to keep them not so tight, but taut, because if you braid them too tight, the more circles you go outwards, the tighter it's going to feel on that person's head. So you want to make sure that you are doing them taut, but not too tight. And it's the same concept when you're doing your curved braids or your turns when you're doing a zigzag. Before you get ready to connect to another spot, you want to braid just the corner tip of that area before you start connecting the entire section. And then continue that all the way around, and then continue circle. Now in this demo, I did walk around my client. You guys don't want to walk around the client. You want to turn the client around so that way you aren't leaving off your mat. But I have my camera stand in the way because I didn't feel like setting up the other camera. So since I'm using my phone today, it's on the tripod right behind the head. So just turn the mannequin in the circle as you guys are working. Use your chair to rotate them so that way you don't have to walk in the circle. Always grab just the corner before you go to the next section. Keep some jam on your fingertips so that way you can keep a smooth braid. Anytime it feels like the braid is stiff, dry, or it doesn't look clean, more than likely you need to add some more jam or something to your fingertips so that way you can keep it smooth going all the way around.